friends, it's Miss Karen. How are you? Today we have a read aloud, and it's a story that's from this book called Merry Christmas, a storybook collection. And the name of this story is Once There Was a Christmas Tree. So I'm going to start reading this. It's almost Christmas, said Mrs. Bear, and we still don't have a Christmas tree. Don't worry, said her husband. I'll find one. And there she is. So he's like, don't worry, I'll find one. Mr. Bear took his saw and went deep into the woods. There he found the biggest tree he could carry and brought it home. Look at that. There's really nice pictures in this book. Mr. Bear put the tree in the living room. It's a beautiful Christmas tree, said his wife, but it's much too tall. I'll fix that, said her husband, and with his saw, he cut the tree in half. So look at that. The tree, it's so tall, it's like bending over on the ceiling. And there he is, cutting the tree in half. Just then, Mrs. Bear looked out the window, and she saw Mr. Fox pulling his son on a sled, and they were going into the woods to look for a tree. Why don't we give them the top of our tree, she said. Mr. Bear agreed. So Mrs. Bear tied a big bow to the top of the Christmas tree and took it outside. Yoo-hoo, Mr. Fox, called Mrs. Bear. We took our tree and made it two. One half for us and one half for you. Mr. Fox was delighted. Thank you so much, he said. What a wonderful present. Mr. Fox put the tree on his sled, and then he and his son turned the sled around and pulled it home. They're going to their house. Once the tree was up, the two foxes stood back to admire it. It's the prettiest tree I've ever seen, said the little fox. His father thought so too. Look it's a beautiful tree. It looks perfect. They were just about to decorate their tree when Mr. Fox thought of his friend, Old Rabbit. Old Rabbit lives all alone, and he doesn't have a tree this year. Our tree is big, said his son. Why don't we share it with him? Good idea, said Mr. Fox. So he took his saw and he cut their tree in half. Look at that. Together, Mr. Fox and his son took the top of the Christmas tree to Old Rabbit's house. When Old Rabbit opened the door, Mr. Fox and his son said, We took our tree and made it two, one half for us and one half for you. Tears came to Old Rabbit's eyes when he saw their gift. How kind of you both, he said. Look, they made Old Rabbit's day by giving him half of their tree. Old Rabbit brought the Christmas tree into his house and put it in his window. Next, he put a silver star on top of the tree, and then, one by one, he added the ornaments. Old Rabbit was almost done when, oops, one ornament that looked like a carrot bounced off the tree. It kept rolling until it stopped by a hole in the floor. Thank goodness it didn't fall in, said Old Rabbit. That was my favorite one. See, there's the hole in the floor, and it looks like a carrot ornament. Rabbits like carrots. Just as old Rabbit was about to pick up the ornament, it was pulled into the hole. Peeking down into the hole, he saw Mother Mouse and her 3 children, and they were trying to eat the carrot ornament. "Don't eat that," he shouted. "It's made of wood." Those silly mice, they thought that the carrot was real, but it's not. It's an ornament. Old Rabbit saw that the mouse family was hungry, so he invited them to dinner. Afterwards, Old Rabbit and Mother Mouse chatted and watched the children play. "It's nice to have friends," said Old Rabbit, smiling. "Aw, isn't that nice? That was nice of Old Rabbit to do that." And look, they're all playing. It was getting late, and Mother Mouse carried her sleepy children home and tucked them into bed. Old Rabbit went to bed too, but he could not sleep. When he looked at his pretty tree in the window, he knew why. "It's Christmas Eve," he thought, "and the mouse family should have a Christmas tree of their own." What do you think he's going to do? Do you have any ideas? You're right. I think he's going to cut his Christmas tree. Old Rabbit went to the window and cut the top off of his tree. Quietly, he tiptoed over to the hole and slipped the little tree into the mouse's family room. "Merry Christmas," he whispered. "I took my tree and made it 2, 1/2 for me and 1/2 for you." Then Old Rabbit tiptoed back to his bed and went to sleep. And there he is, tiptoeing over to the hole. There's the hole right there. And he puts the tree down, and all the mice are asleep. When they wake up, they're going to see the tree. And once there was a Christmas tree, but sharing made it 4, and Santa Claus left presents under every one. Look at that. There's Santa up there, and he left presents under all 4 of the trees. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed the story, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.